You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Tuesday the 16th of September 2025. It is 88 days after the summer solstice. It is 6 days before the fall equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 30th day of Fructidor, the day of the panier, the pack basket. The sun rises today at 6:38 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:51 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:02 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 7:30 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 8:02 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 40 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waning crescent phase and is 26% full at midday. The new moon will arrive on Sunday, the 21st of September. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the middle of the night, low tide, 12:17 a.m., 18 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 7:22 a.m., 1 meter 28. Near midday, low tide, 12:14 p.m., 30 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 7:04 p.m., 1 meter 49. In our shared realm of plants and animals, many of the cottonwood trees have dropped all their leaves already. By contrast, the Japanese pagoda trees, although they are laden with seed-bearing pods, are having a last burst of flowering. The sprays of late flowers are sprinkled on different parts of the trees, a gentle echo of the bounteous blooms of last month. The small crepe myrtles, the ones the size of bushes, are continuing to be ablaze with white, pink, or red blooms. The larger crepe myrtles have begun to set seed, starting at the base of the crown, while at the top they remain in flower. Commemorations. On this day in 1810, in Dolores, Mexico, the local priest, Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla, rang his church bell and made a call to arms, triggering the Mexican War of Independence. His Grito de Dolores, or Cry of Dolores, demanded the end of Spanish rule. The exact wording of his address is lost to history. The day is observed as Mexican Independence Day. Every year, the President of Mexico appears on the eve of the anniversary in the Zócalo in Mexico City and delivers a rousing cry ending with the threefold Viva Mexico. Then he rings the same bell Miguel Hidalgo rang in 1810. On this day in 1931, a blimp was moored to the top of the Empire State Building. Very briefly, there is a backstory here. The pointed top of the Empire State was designed as a mooring mast for dirigibles, fixed frame, lighter-than-air flying ships, like the famous Hindenburg. From the start, it was clear the idea was something of a pipe dream. To moor such a large airship and offload passengers so high above the ground was deeply impractical. The winds at that height, twisted by the skyscraper itself, would make mooring extremely risky. However, on this day in 1931, a private blimp piloted by Lieutenant William McCracken did manage to moor. The 40-mile-per-hour wind made maneuvering difficult, and the traffic was tied up in the streets below for half an hour as people watched the pilot make his attempt. He succeeded, but he was able to moor for only 3 minutes before he pushed off and flew away. It was the only time an air mooring was attempted at the Empire State Building. On this day in 1959, the first successful photocopier was demonstrated on live television from the Sherry Netherland Hotel on Fifth Avenue. The new technology of the Xerox 914 would revolutionize the way people reproduced and shared text and images. And finally, another aviation thrill. On this day in 1979, two East Germans, Peter Strelczyk and Günter Wetzel, flew themselves and their families in a hot air balloon to West Germany. They made the balloon themselves, ingeniously sewing the fabric at home and constructing the hot air burners and gondola. It was their third attempt to make a balloon. Their homemade balloon took off near the heavily fortified east-west German border and was aloft for just 28 minutes before it landed 15 miles away near the West German town of Naila in the state of Bavaria. They had escaped. And that is the Observatory, Tuesday the 16th of September, 2025.